What's good, everybody, man? This is ExactoKnife, of course. Appreciate you click on the video. On my gainer to drop the like and watch the whole vid. Greatly helps out the channel. Let's get into it today. So I'm doing all the tier list for all the badges in the game for updated for season 3. So this is more for newer players, so y'all know what to do in this game and what badges are better. Now, before we start, this is my list and my opinion, and that opinion is based on me being a 95 win percent player that has played every single, and by every single game mode and form of game mode on this game extensively. So a lot of games, not pop in and pop out. I've played everything, I've lost everywhere, I've won everywhere, so I know what I'm doing. I play every position: point guard with screens, ISO, small guard, big guard, lockdown, center, backside, pick and popper, pick and roller, post score. I played every position, so this is a very informed opinion, probably one of the most informed opinions you will get on this game. And every badge in NBA 2K22 is functional and does what it's supposed to do. This is based on what is going to help you win the most games and what is going to be the most effective for most people's playstyle. For example, with a badge like Slippery Off Ball, which is dog shit, spoiler alert, for an inside center that rolls a lot, for somebody that really just dexes a lot and loves to play off ball, yes, it's a good badge. But for most people, it's useless. You know what I'm saying? That's a very niche playstyle right there. You know what I'm saying? It does not make that big of a difference for winning. So let's get into it. First things and foremost, some of the list is different from my old one, but a lot of it has changed. Blinders, S tier. You know what I'm saying? It needs no explanation. Have it on bronze or silver in the corners as a lock or a spot up or whatever you get it on. And also, I play next gen mostly, but this does take into account current gen. Just pay attention to some of these badges. I'm going to point out the tiers. If you're on current gen, most of them are good on a high tier. So it's just on next gen, we're limited to what we can use. Blinders, you know what I'm saying? Prevents side contest, prevents people from behind you from contesting you. Just lowers contest in general from most areas, even sometimes in front of you. Great badge, no explanation needed. Y'all know what blinders does on every single level, and it actually helps you on catch and shoots as well in the corner if you're like that, if you really shoot those shots with a quick jump shot. Catch and shoot, I previously had it, I think, an A tier. I'm bumping it down a little bit because the shooting is just really so easy at this point that it's like, I mean, it's a great badge, but between somebody having, like, being a spot up with an 80 plus 3-point and having catch and shoot and not having it, I mean, it's not a night and day difference, but it definitely helps. It turns some whites into greens. It turns some whites into going in rather than clanking, and it is what it is. Up next, we got Chef. Now, Chef is going to be a very situational badge. It's after you dribble, and then you either stop or you fade from deep from 3. If you're a guard with a high 3-point, this is going to be an amazing badge. For everybody else, it's going to be useless. I will put it in the A tier, though, because just off of its effectiveness. Circus 3s. Now, with the patch to dribbling and overall guard speed being pretty slow, I mean, obviously, if you're good at the game, you still know how to move and maneuver. Fading is obviously a better option because you're not getting as far away from your defender to quick stop and shoot. You know what I'm saying? This will only be useful for people with a very high 3 and a lot of shooting badges that can already afford everything else Hall of Fame. But it does do a very good job. Step backs to 3, moving 3s, everything. And especially if you have shot or sharp take or both, it's pretty unstoppable unless the defender is predicting where you're going. Clutch shooter. Now, I love this badge, and I do run it on corner shooters because it helps you just not miss that full bar for game. But it's going in the C tier. Like, I've tried on all tiers. I mean, it works on post hooks. It works on all jump shots. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of tough, man. In this game, like, you're either gonna, the game's either gonna make you miss or it's gonna make you make it. It's kind of already predetermined. So run clutch shooter if you have a lot of badges, if you have nothing else to put it on, like if you're playing in the corner. But for guards, I don't really recommend it like that. There's way better badges that you can use to, like, not even be in a clutch situation to begin with. Corner specialist. This badge, despite being a spot up only corner badge, this badge makes, like, the corner catch and shoot or the corner shot is the easiest shot. Like, it's easier than a mid-range. It is so easy. It's almost impossible to miss if you have a decent jump shot and an IQ above a room temperature in fucking Alaska. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, bro. Like, the corner special, if you're a spot up, if you move to the corner, if you fade with Circus 3s, amazing badge. Deadeye, once again, in the A tier. Deadeye is kind of like blinders, but it does not lower the contest. It helps you make it through the contest. It's more for forward contests, but once, like, say with a badge like Mismatch Expert, if you're shooting over a center or something, they are going to have a low percent contest, but you know that they are going to have a low percent contest. It'll help you make that shot, like, significantly higher, a higher amount of times. Difficult shots. Like, I'm sorry for all my 2s faders. This badge only works for mid-range moving shots. If you play 2s and fade, it's great, I guess, if you play like that. If you fade on 2s, I don't think you're a great player, but I mean, you do what you got to do to get these dubs. For everybody else, it's useless. You should not be fading anywhere else. Speaking of deep fades, I love post fading, but it is literally only for post scorers, and post fades are by far not the most efficient shot in the post unless you have takeover activated and you're really like smart about where you shoot. So I'm putting in the C tier. It does work though. For post fades, it makes post fades really tough if they're wide open. It makes whites go in like crazy. Green Machine, I used to have this ranked a lot higher, and if you check out my video on guards, especially that, I recommend it for guards. But generally speaking, man, Green Machine's just an average badge, because for most people, it works on your third shot. It helps you green your third shot more when you, what is that shit called? When you green your first 2 shots before that. So for most playstyles on this game right now, that's already means like you're using it a maximum of 1 or 2 times a game if you're shooting like 3 or 4 threes. And if you're greening them, you know how a full bar green animation, whatever, that which happens a lot on perfect timings, it interrupts Green Machine completely. So I mean, if you have the badge points, you can run down a little bit of a low tier, but it's not what it used to be. Once it does get working, it is crazy. Hot Zone Hunter, A tier, easy. Just makes you shoot better from all of your hot zones, and you can get hot zones in my career, and they stay everywhere. Self-explanatory. Nothing too much to say. Limitless Spot Up. Now, this badge is not for people that dribble the ball. It's only for catch and shoot. I'm not debating nobody. Like I said, y'all can leave y'all comments in the down below and let me know what y'all think about my ranking, but Limitless Spot Up, I'm not debating. Limitless Spot Up in Chef, I've tested it. It's been fixed. It's been patched, confirmed by the devs. The 2K Lab confirmed it, everything. You know what I'm saying? It's for catch and shoots from very, very deep. It's a great badge if that's the shot that you take a lot, because it makes like the easy shooting easy from deep, which obviously is a big asset to most teams. But most people do not shoot from deep like that off catch and shoots. Lucky number 7. Now, the usability of this badge is not what you think it is. It's not, oh, let me inbound the ball quick and run down the court and shoot. Unless you're like on the 2s and you take a fadeaway right off the inbound. But even on 2s, the inbound be taken forever. This is a fast break badge. If you're somebody that runs the break, shoots 3s, even on bronze or silver, it makes you make everything in the first, like if it's active. It is a big, big, big boost. It's just like you're not going to activate it playing normally. So like as a point guard, unless you run the break and you like, say your teammate launches you the ball in the rec center, in the park, whatever, after a board, or like after a board on the 2s, you know what I'm saying? And you catch the ball, it's a massive boost. Other than that, it's not that useful. Mismatch Expert, easy S tier. Y'all already know how Mismatch Expert is. That badge is absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It basically negates contest from anybody that's taller than you, and if they're significantly taller, they basically can't get a contest if you combine it with blinders and Deadeye. You know what I'm saying? If you know how to move. Rhythm Shooter. Now, this badge does do something, but I do not recommend it for anyone. Nobody on this game, as far as I'm aware, has the badge points to run this badge for any reason whatsoever. After you do a size up or like a step back or something, it basically boosts your shots. It's not if you dribble, run, and quick stop. A quick stop does not count for Rhythm Shooter. That's a different badge that's coming up in the list in the S tier. You know what I'm saying? Let me just do that right now for you. Stop and pop. Stop and pop is what people think Rhythm Shooter is. Anytime you run with the ball or you move with the ball, you stop and you shoot right away. For any position, it activates. So if you're a center that likes to do that, you're a guard, you're a lock, it doesn't matter what you do. If that's what you do, that badge has to be at the highest tier. It's probably the biggest. I think the boost from Stop and Pop is higher than the boost from Sniper, in my opinion. And I think the boost from Stop and Pop is higher than Hot Zone Hunter plus a Hot Zone of an equivalent tier. That's just my opinion, though. Set Shooter, no explanation needed. Who the hell waits to shoot in this game? Like, I used to think there's a couple applications. Yeah, maybe there's some old heads that stand open, but ain't nobody leaving you open in this game. If you're wide open, just pop that thing as soon as you can before somebody gets the slippery off ball. Like I said, E tier, it's only useful for a minute few playstyles, and its boost is not even noticeable. But I mean, if you're an inside center that has a shooting badge for whatever reason you put on him, it'll help you, I guess. Sniper, S tier. Y'all know it makes whites turn green. It makes whites that are not green turn white and go in. So it is what it is, man. Y'all know how it is. Probably the most defining badge of 2K22 so far, and y'all know how we get down, bro. If you don't have Sniper on your build and you're a shooter, I mean, some people say it doesn't help them, it makes it shoot worse. Don't listen to those people, just put it on. They're trying to make you lose. And Volume Shooter, last but not least, actually least, because this badge is dog shit. Unless you're, like I said, a guard that fades on 2s and you see a pattern here. That's the only time that Volume Shooter will be useful. Or I guess if you play the 1v1, it could be useful. But I don't even see a boost from it like that, man. Like I said, if you play 1s or 2s and you shoot shots, it's Volume Shooter is you take one shot. In the next 60 seconds of gameplay, so shot clock counting, you have to attempt, defense and offense, you have to attempt another shot to keep building the boost and so on and so forth. And once you stop, it resets down to 0, like the boost. You know what I'm saying? There's videos out there as to how it works, but I do not recommend running it. hopefully you enjoyed the video, man. Just trying to help y'all get better every day. Stay tuned for more content. Thank you for the love, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, bro.